We are starting our circus trains for the circus performance today. So we're going to be drawing an animal to go into the cage of your train. You have some really helpful handouts at your table with different kinds of animals that would work in your train. So what I want you to think about is filling this paper with your animal. We want it to be very big. So I'm going to pick this tiger, and I'm looking at the shapes of the tiger. So I see that his body is going to be a long oval right here, and his legs are really big. So this back leg is an oval with a little oval for his foot. His front feet are just laying. I see a little bit of his tummy, and his head has a big circle, a smaller oval, and then a smaller oval for his nose. And his ears are kind of like half circles. Now I know that a real tiger doesn't have all these lines in the middle, so I'm going to do some erasing. You'll find some big erasers in the bins at your table. And I'm just going to kind of connect those lines together to make it look more like a real tiger's body. And I probably can't see his belly and his foot, and he definitely needs a tail. Hopefully you can see this in the video. I have a nice pencil drawing of the tiger. Now I'm ready to use the crayons and add color. So I know by looking at the smartboard and just seeing tigers at the zoo, they are very orange in color. So I want it to look like a real tiger. I'm going to add that orange color all over his body. And then after I'm done with that part, I would probably add his stripes. And the smartboard will have pictures of these animals, so I would kind of do that all over. I might even add a little bit of outlining around the body to make it look dark and stand out in this train. So on day one, you want to draw your animal and you want to start to color. If you don't finish the color today, that's okay. So as I'm coloring this tiger, now I can't see his leg. So I'm going to use that black crayon that I was outlining with, and I'm going to outline the tiger's back foot to make them stand out. And then I can keep adding those stripes. They don't really look nice and straight. A tiger's got lots of cool patterns. Some of them are wobbly lines. I'm going to keep coloring. When you are done coloring, we're going to save this for next time to put our animal into the cage. So when you're finished coloring, if you finish on day one, just make sure that your name is on the back, and it's going to come up to Mrs. Cleary's table. On day two, the first thing you're going to want to do is finish coloring your picture that you get. So I have finished coloring my picture. Now I'm ready to frame my animal onto part of the train. So this has been a little confusing for kindergartners in the past. I am going to put a nice little line of glue around this inside shape that's cut out. Then my animal is going to go down into the cage. So when I flip it over, I can see my animal. And I think I'm going to scoop my frame up a little bit so that I can see the tiger's head. There we go. The circus train needs some wheels, so you're going to get some scraps of paper. They might be different colors, and I'm going to cut 2 wheels. So my wheels are going to be yellow. I'm folding this piece of paper in half, and I am cutting the biggest circle that I can. And I'm going to glue the wheels at the bottom of the train. And I want to glue them so that they're coming off the bottom. I don't want to glue them on there. I want it to look like this train could move. You will have some stickers and jewels and fancy things at your table to put on your train. So I'm going to add a couple of designed stickers. My little star kind of got bent. There's one. You also will have a shape or two of sticky foam. So I have a triangle shape. You can cut this into different pieces if you'd like. And it is a sticker, so it just peels off. I have one more I'm going to add right here. You might also have, just depends on what we have left in the art room, you might have some jewels that are stickers as well. So these have paper that you have to peel off on the back, kind of tricky. And then you can stick those on. You can also choose to add some designs, maybe shapes or lines on your train to make it a little bit fancier. I would not go crazy with pictures and things. I would just make it like lines or shapes, just to add a little bit of decoration on your train. So the last piece is we need to cage our animal up. You're going to get 3 pieces of yarn, and this is going to be the last thing you want to do. I am going to put a line of glue in the middle of my train, and I'm going to put a line of glue on each side. Very last step, because when you put the yarn on, you're going to kind of lightly touch it in place. You don't want to smear the glue everywhere. And then this will have to dry in the drying rack before we can make our big, long kindergarten train. If you have a little bit hanging over the edge like I do, if you want to try to cut it, you can. Or you can just leave it, because it is tricky to cut. There we go. There's our circus train. So they will connect together with the little end side by side to hang up on the wall in our auditorium for our circus.